We're rather familiar with giants because we've all seen them. Yes, we mean your parents. When you're a child, everybody is a giant for you in this world.
He's a baby.
In fact, in ancient times, giants were considered messengers of the gods. But today, everyone understands that this is a rare form of the disease. It's called giantism, but it also has a number of other names. So, in today's video, we're going to tell you about people whose size will surprise you. Get comfy. And we're starting. Sultan Kösen. You may have seen this giant on the web.
I am tallest man, Sultan Kösen.
Sultan was born on December 10th, 1982 in Mardin, Turkey. Because of his height, he couldn't finish school and stayed to run the farm with his parents. By the way, his parents are medium height, and no one in their family has ever had this phenomenon. Kösen himself says that his height helps him to work with tall trees in the garden, to replace a light bulb without getting up on a chair, and to help around the farm. The downsides are the fact that he has to move around on crutches, and of course, it's difficult to find clothes. After all, for such a giant, 8 feet, 2.82 inches tall, you need to find trousers 50 inches long, outerwear with 3-foot long sleeves, and wait for it, size 27 shoes. 27? Kösen began to increase in height rapidly at the age of 10, and he stopped at 28, when he finally received treatment to stop his growth. Sultan is a member of the Magic Circus of Samoa. He performs around the world. In 2013, he got married. He's almost 3 foot 2 inches taller than his wife. If you think that they have problems because of his height, you're wrong. They speak different languages. That's the thing. Fate is complicated. Shaquille O'Neal. Of course, we're talking about giants. How can we miss Shaq? In addition to basketball, Shaquille has also been in movies. Remember that funny scene in Scary Movie where he had to put a stone into the basket in order to survive?
Let the game begin.
I don't know about you, but I laughed a lot. So where were we? Oh yeah, our giant was born in New Jersey on March 6, 1972. Interesting fact, his name Shaquille means little warrior in Arabic. Yeah, he is so little, that one. Shaquille is 7 foot 1 inch tall and weighs 324 pounds. The little warrior's bumpy ride began when he was a child. His father left the family when Shaquille was less than a year old. Because of the constant workload and criminal situation in Newark, New Jersey, the family was constantly lacking money even for food. Shaquille's family lived from hand to mouth and often ate in free canteens for the poor. A few years later, they had to constantly move because of Shaquille's stepfather's military service. Only at the age of 15, when the family settled down in San Antonio, Texas, where his sports career actually began. Today, Shaquille is the face of the NBA and the basketball industry in general. Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant is one of the most famous giants in pop culture. He became famous for his wrestling performances in the 70s and the 80s. Then he became an actor. His most popular role was Fezzik in The Princess Bride. It hardly tells you anything, but anyway, the film was released on September 25th, 1987. It was well received by critics, but wasn't the box office success. Andre is 7 foot 4 inches tall and weighs 520 pounds. In this picture, you can see just how big his hand was, but better watch this. During the interview, he put his hand to the host's face. What a hand! Andre's friends called him the greatest drunkard on earth, because when he won the WWE Championship, he drank 40 liters of beer in one evening. Undercover cops always followed Andre when he was going to the bar, because one night he got drunk and fell asleep on someone. Just imagine walking into a bar to unwind, you relax just a little too much, and Andre the Giant falls on you. Well, we're not jealous at all. Sandy Allen. Our list wouldn't be complete without the fair sex. Sandy was born on June 18, 1955. At the age of 10, she was 6 foot 2, and at 16, she reached 7 feet. In 1977, at the age of 22, Sandy underwent surgery to stop her growth. At that time, she was already 7 foot 7 inches tall. Sandy was officially recognized as the tallest woman in the world, but she wasn't happy about it. Poor Sandy felt alone all her life and even asked the organizers of Guinness World Records to introduce her to someone of the same height. She traveled all around the world in search of a marriage proposal. Yao Ming. That's an ex-basketball player, and it just so happens that a basketball player is an obvious profession when you're this tall. Yao Ming is 7 foot 6 inches tall. During his final season, he was the tallest player in the NBA. Imagine that you're so tall that other players feel small. Yao was born in China and basketball runs in his family. Both of his parents were basketball players. He started his career playing for the Chinese team Shanghai Sharks, but he eventually made his way to the NBA. In 2011, he retired due to numerous knee and foot injuries. It's obvious that giants have big problems with their legs, regardless of their activities. Just imagine the strain your feet are under every day. They even made a documentary about him, The Year After the Yao. After returning to China, Yao bought his team, the Shanghai Sharks, and became a coach. Robert Wadlow. Robert is the tallest registered person in history. Born on February 22, 1918 in Alton, Illinois, he is known as the Giant of Illinois. Look at him, it's not photoshopped. The guy was 8 foot 11.1 inches tall. What? 8 foot 11 inches tall? At the age of 8, he was already taller than his father, who was 5 foot 9. After graduation, he was 8 foot 4. Imagine a classmate like that. We wonder how he fit behind a desk. It's worth saying that Robert weighed over 485 pounds. The Alton Giant died at the age of 22 due to an infection in his leg. Unfortunately, at that time, medicine was powerless in such situations. To this day, Robert's memory is honored in his city. Even a monument was erected to honor the biggest man in the history of the world. Oana Semyonova. Another girl on our list. Meet Oana, 2-time Olympic champion, 3-time world champion, 10-time European champion. It's not worth mentioning what kind of sport the girl achieved such results in because you already guessed it. Of course, it was basketball. What else? Oana was born on March 9, 1952, in Zaracy, Lithuania. Oana started to grow very quickly during puberty, and in 5th grade, she was already 5 foot 9 inches tall. Her parents went to the doctor, but they assured her that the girl was fine. By the age of 13, her height was over 6 foot 2, and her PE teachers told coaches of Riga Sports School about her student. It was from that moment that Oana's activity began to emerge. Giannis Antetokounmpo, another basketball player on our list. But people are attracted not only to his height and talent, but also to his huge hands. Giannis Antetokounmpo was born on December 6, 1994 in Athens, Greece. He plays for the NBA's Milwaukee Bucks and is a forward, and he's only 25 years old. He's 7 feet tall and weighs 242.5 pounds. The palm size of an average adult man is 7.2 inches. Giannis is 12 inches. In an interview with The Jump, Giannis's height isn't really noticeable. He doesn't stand out at all. But when the presenter tries to compare her hand to the players, it becomes clear that it isn't just a hand, but the hand.
That's just,
Look at that middle finger.
So that's whom Razer Inc. developed their keyboard for. Dalip Singh. I bet you've seen this giant somewhere before. Wrestling fans will certainly remember his spectacular battles, and sports comedy fans, of course, know him from the movie The Longest Yard, or if you've seen that funny cement commercial. Dalip was born in 1972 in a big family. Dalip was the tallest among his 7 brothers, and he was known as the Great Kali. He was born in a poor province in India. All children started working at a young age, and Dalip was no exception. Even then, he was too tall and strong for his age, and earned his living in the quarry and road construction. With such natural abilities, it was a sin not to go for sports. He was addicted to hitting the weights in local improvised gyms, and was becoming huge day by day. Dalip is 7 foot 2 inches tall and weighs 346 pounds. Sajjad Gharibi. This guy is known online as the Iranian Hulk or Persian Hercules, and it's not too hard to understand why. This 28-year-old Iranian weighs about 342 pounds and is 6 foot 11 inches tall. His torso is about the size of a giant redwood. This real-life Hulk can lift a 386-pound barbell. He became famous after people found his Instagram account, where Gharibi shows his impressive size. He posts photos holding objects to help people understand his real size. This way, it's clear how huge this guy is. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And if you happen to be a huge giant, write your height and weight in the comments and we'll read it for sure. And of course, take care of your feet.